Hey guys, it's Buffaque again. I'm going to do a real quick video today. I've received a couple of questions from viewers asking if I could do a short video showing how I do the little lanyards I have on all of my pocket knives. So I thought I'd just give you guys a quick shot of how I do that. Basically, guys, the reason I put these lanyards on my pocket knives is not so much for the fact of I want to be able to like clip them to something, but it's more for the fact of some of my knives are kind of a darker color, you know, black, brown, things like that. And by putting a nice bright lanyard on it, you know, it makes it easier to find, say, should you drop it somewhere. Specifically, you know, outside, outdoors, you know, in the grass or something like that. It makes it easier to find. And two, it gives it a little pop of personality, so I kind of like putting the little lanyards on. So this is a real quick shot of how I do it. Basically, determine how long you want your paracord. This is just standard bright yellow paracord. I keep all of mine fairly short. I don't like a real long lanyard in my pocket. So run your cord. This is my Benchmade proper. I'm just using this just for example. Run it through your lanyard hole. You're going to cross your left side over the right and tuck it back under, just like this. And you're going to take the right side, run it back in the same direction as that first piece, and then run it back through the loop that was created by that other line. Okay, so this is what you should end up having. Okay. Then basically you just cinch it up however far you want it. I've noticed some people run theirs up all the way up to the top. Some people don't. Okay, I like it somewhere in between. About like that. Work each side, these two lines, as you're tightening it up. Pull each one kind of evenly. Pull each side a little bit at a time, okay? And that's going to make it so that it comes out, it dresses cleanly, okay? And that's what you should end up with. If you don't do that, it kind of comes out looking sloppy, and you probably won't like it, and you'll do it again. So basically, I just do the same thing over and over. You can do it however many times you like, depending on how long you want the lanyard. Like I said, on most of my knives, I tend to make them a little bit smaller. Here's a good example of what I'm talking about. You want to do each side evenly, so you dress that knot cleanly. I'm not doing an excellent job of showing you this right now, but it'll do for the purpose of this video. Yeah, it looks okay. So basically, with each knot, it should come out looking about the same as the previous one. I have noticed that when you're doing this knot, if you don't pull the lines evenly, the knot will invert, and so what will happen is instead of the knot forming instead of it forming in this fashion, it'll basically be inverted, okay? And so it'll look backwards, and that'll happen if you don't pull the lines evenly. So make sure as you're doing that you pull each one evenly and keep the knot dressed pretty well, okay? Alright, so already, you know, that's kind of what we're looking at. Like I said, you can make it as long or as short as you want. If you wanted to, you could do the knots all the way to the bottom of this line and have a really long lanyard, or if that's all you want, let's put one, I think I'm going to put one more on it. Again, guys, this is really simple. There's probably a blue million of these videos on YouTube showing how to do these little lanyards. I'm only doing this specifically because I had a couple of viewers specifically ask me to do it, so that they were interested and wanted to know if there was anything fancy or specific I did. And so basically my answer to you directly is no, I don't do anything strange or original that you've never seen or heard of before. This is basically what a lot of guys on YouTube are doing. Okay, so that's kind of what you end up with. I'm pretty happy with that length for this size knife. Generally speaking, and this is not a hard, fast rule, but generally speaking, I make my lanyards anywhere between a third to a half size of the knife. Alright, so if you kind of envision where your midway point is on this knife, usually I'll take a lanyard that'll go all the way to that midway point, or maybe not quite. I don't like one that goes past half the length of the knife. I don't know why, I just don't. So anyway, once you get to that point where you're happy with it, grab a pair of scissors or another knife, chop off what's left. And then the only thing that I do here that I've seen some people don't do is for the ends that are left, I do melt those down. I don't have a lighter here handy. I have a matchbook with one single match in it. Let's see if I can get it to do it for the video. But basically, you just want to burn the ends down of those paracord lines so they don't fray, and so the lanyard doesn't come undone. Let's see if I can get that to catch. Maybe it's gonna catch, maybe not. Okay. Once you've got it that far, squeeze the two ends together as best you can while the cord is still hot. Okay. Basically, stick those two ends together. Now, if you tried really hard, yes, you could. Actually, you wouldn't even have to try that hard. If you try, you can break these two ends back apart. But basically, just by melting the end of your paracord, it's going to keep it from fraying and unraveling on you. Okay. So that's it. That's how I do these little lanyards. Pretty simple, nothing fancy. Like I said, just adds a little bit of personality to your knife, a little bit of pop. There's millions of different types of paracord out there, different types and lengths and colors and all that good stuff. So just put a little something on your knife if you haven't, guys, just for a little personal touch. That's how I do it. Thanks, guys. See you next time.